A rising star, highly skilled, relentless, and an undefeated fighter is making himself known in the MMA world. His name is Tatsuro Taira. But what's his story? Where did it all begin? Where did he come from? And why are they calling him the next big thing from Japan? Today, we're going to break down the promising journey of this flyweight phenom. Early life. Born on January 27, 2000, and hailing from Naha, Okinawa, Japan, Tatsuro Taira is the first and only fighter to date who was born in the 2000s to fight and win a UFC main event. Initially, he used to play baseball, which he started during elementary school. However, by junior high, he got bored of it and was influenced by his brother, who started attending the gym in his first year of high school. That's when he started training in mixed martial arts under the guidance of Ryota Matsune, a retired MMA fighter from Japan. By 2017, Taira started competing in competitions and won the 11th Kyusha Amateur Shooto Championship Tournament, as well as the 24th All-Japan Amateur Shooto Championship Tournament. This led him to a promotion to the professional ranks, with a record of 10 wins in 10 amateur Shooto fights. The beginning of his career. Taira made his professional debut on 3rd August 2018 against Yo Ataki, participating in the first round of the flyweight division of the Shooto Rookie of the Year tournament. He defeated his opponent using the triangle choke. A few months later, he fought Ryo Oyakawa in the flyweight final of the Shooto Newcomers Championship tournament. Oyakawa was an opponent Taira had faced twice before as an amateur. He won the fight by first-round guillotine choke. In the same year, the promising newcomer won the flyweight rookie champion and the MVP title, demonstrating his immense talent very early on in his career. In the years 2019 and 2021, Taira went on to fight many high-ranked fighters, such as Takahiro Kobori, who was ranked number 8 in the Shooto World Flyweight rankings. He defeated him 60 seconds into the fight by ground and pound. Then came Kiyotaka Shimizu, and even though the predictions showed 77% in favor of Shimizu, Taira ended up winning via unanimous decision. After proving many people wrong, he went on to compete against Yoshiro Maeda, who was ranked number 5 in the Shooto World Flyweight rankings. He won that fight in 61 seconds by rear naked choke. By that point, Taira had shown everyone that he could face a dangerous opponent. So then came the champion, Tatsuya Furuta, whom he fought at the Shooto World Flyweight Championship, where he not only won the fight by first-round triangle choke, but also claimed the champion title. However, Tatsuro Taira was just getting started. UFC career. In February 2022, the MMA fighter began his journey with UFC when he signed a multi-fight contract. Taira's first fight was supposed to take place on April 30th against Carlos Candelario. However, his opponent had to opt out due to food poisoning. The fight then occurred 2 weeks later on May 14th when he won by unanimous decision. He'd already started creating buzz for himself at this point when he entered the octagon to fight against CJ Vergara on October 15th, 2022 at the UFC Fight Night, Grasso vs. Araujo. However, this fight had a twist no one saw coming. Vergara had to pay 30% of the fight money to Taira as he weighed 3 pounds over the flyweight limit. As soon as the fight began, it didn't matter if Vergara had a weight advantage. Taira showed that he was still the dominant fighter as he grappled his opponent relentlessly. In the second round, Vergara tapped out when Taira pulled out a smooth armbar submission move, which secured his win for him. That night, he didn't just go home a winner, he also earned the Performance of the Night award, giving him a taste of what the UFC stardom feels like. The remarkable display of talent that he showed in the year 2022 earned him a number 4 ranking for Newcomer of the Year at the 2022 UFC.com award. Now that Taira's confidence was at its peak, he made his way back to the cage against Jesus Santos Aguilar at UFC Fight Night, Lewis vs. Spivak on February 4th, 2023. The fans who were impressed by his previous submission victory were even more amazed when in the very first round, the emerging talent locked his opponent in a triangle armbar, a move so smooth it left even the commentators in shock. This performance earned him another Performance of the Night award. If you're enjoying this video so far, please give it a like. And don't worry, unlike Taira's opponents, you won't have to be put in an armbar for it. But why take such a risk? Click the like button now before Taira finds out and comes for you, leaving Shooto behind and progressing forward. By this point in his career, the UFC fighter had to make a tough decision, whether he wanted to continue defending his Shooto flyweight championship title, but he was also looking at a promising UFC career. Therefore, he took the wise decision of leaving his Shooto title behind, letting the division move forward without him, while he focused on making his way up the UFC flyweight ranks. Following this decision, Taira felt he was prepared for the next challenge, so on June 24th, he was scheduled to fight Clydeson Rodrigues. But yet again, his opponent weighed 3 pounds over the limit, resulting in the fight being canceled. Instead of standing by and waiting for the fight to be rescheduled, Taira took up a short notice fight. He moved up a weight class to a 130-pound catchweight bout scheduled for the following week against Edgar Chairez at UFC 209. Even with the challenge of a change in opponent and weight class, Taira showed his exceptional skills and won the fight via unanimous decision. While it may not have been the most thrilling conclusion that fans were looking for, this fight was proof that he could adapt and fight his way to victory when needed. He had another canceled fight in October, after which he fought against Carlos Hernandez at UFC Fight Night 233 on December 9th, 2023. This fight was different from all his others. This fight proved that Taira was capable of much more than just a win via submission. He could also knock out his opponent when necessary. He showed the world that while his submission game was elite, his striking skills were equally good. In the second round of the fight, he landed a brutal punch to his opponent, crashing him onto the canvas, which not only secured his victory, but also established that he was a complete player, capable of submissions and knockouts. What came next was probably the most significant moment of his UFC career. On June 1st, 2024, Taira was scheduled to step into the octagon and face Joshua Van at UFC 302, but in an interesting turn of events, he landed his first headliner gig and probably got the biggest fight of his career, a main event spot against Alex Perez, which took place on June 13th at the UFC on ESPN 58 event. With so much on the line, the pressure was immense. However, he delivered as Perez suffered a knee injury in the second round, leading to Taira landing a technical knockout and winning the fight. Despite it not being the ideal situation, a win is a win. And this one got the MMA fighter his third Performance of the Night award. With the tide turning in his favor, Taira was scheduled for UFC Fight Night 244's main event matchup with former championship challenger Brandon Royval, which would prove to be his most difficult fight to date, but it was also the moment he'd been striving for. If he defeated Royval, he would become a title contender, and the first bell of this fight proved that this fight would be unique. For the first time in his career, Tatsuro Taira was struggling against his opponent, but he didn't give up. The viewers were on their feet as they witnessed the back and forth between the two exceptionally talented fighters. Eventually, the final bell rang and the fight was over. When the judges' scoreboard was read, the win was given to Royval. This meant that Taira had lost a fight for the first time in his career. Despite the defeat, he went on to earn his first Fight of the Night award. This proved that he belongs among the division's best fighters and that this wasn't the end of the story, but rather the start of a great comeback. Tatsuro Taira's journey as a boy from Japan who paved his way to become the next big thing in the UFC is truly inspiring. It'll be interesting to see what the future holds for him. What do you think about his story? Let us know in the comments below. If you like this video, check out these other videos that we think you'll enjoy.